I just take a minute to show this scene we'll use on our next lab, and I called it left-right sort because what's going to happen is this box is going to go down the conveyor. We have two conveyors put together. We got conveyor A and conveyor B. So each conveyor has its own motor. There's the A and the B motor right there. So we'll have to turn both of those motors on to get the box down. And then once we get down there to the end of the second conveyor, we'll hit this this reflective sensor, and it's called at transfer entry. So when it hits this sensor, we're going to stop the belt, and then you as the operator will flip on the load transfer switch. So one of your two switches will be used as the load to the transfer. And what this does, real simple, is that the transfer is this kind of yellow-orange piece right here, and the box will load into this platform, and then it's either going to move it to the left or it's going to move it to the right. So there's a set of rollers that will bring the box forward, and then these orange or yellow pieces, they're actually chains. They would either turn this way or they would turn this way in order to just move the box onto either the left conveyor or the right conveyor. But if we back out a little bit, you'll see that we have two paths now. We can go to the left or we can go to the right. So what will happen is you'll come down, you'll hit this at transfer entry sensor. That'll pause everything for the minute. And then again, you will manually flip on the load transfer switch. When you do that, you'll turn on these gray rollers, which is the load transfer. And then you'll also have to turn on the B conveyor, because we'll have to push the box off the B conveyor and onto the transfer conveyor. And then we have this capacitive sensor over here called transfer loaded. So once the box comes onto this platform and it hits this sensor, it will basically stop the load transfer and the conveyor B motor. So the box will now be placed right here in the middle of this transfer conveyor. Then, if we want to go to the left, we're going to energize two things. We're going to energize the transfer left, which will turn on these orange, these orange chains and rotate it this direction. And we also need to turn on the conveyor left motor as well. If we're going to go to the right, we'll do the exact same same thing, but opposite direction. We'll turn on the transfer right, which will move the chains this way. And then we need to turn on this conveyor here, which is called conveyor right. Since the first lab will just be going to the left, as the box comes down the conveyor, it will come to the end, and we will come to another reflective sensor called at left exit. So once the box triggers this sensor, then it's going to basically shut down the left conveyor as well as that left transfer chain motor as well. The box will kind of just slide down, and it'll go into this remover, and it'll just kind of magically dissolve. So that's kind of our process here. Basically, we're going to bring the box down the conveyor by starting the A and B when commanded by the switch, the start switch, and then it's going to pause at this point. Then it'll load into here when you tell it to load with the switch, the second switch, and then it's going to send it to the left. Sorry, this first lab will just do to the left. That's the part one part of this. All right, just wanted to visualize it, maybe give you a chance to look at this ahead of time and consider, what it would be to have to control this this process.